They are so different from even my students 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Just different.
let me ask you about this because it fascinates me because I'm watching what's happening on these campuses and I'm meeting people come out of these campuses and they are different
Completely.
than they used to be. This is a very profound thing. They are being, surely this is a question of indoctrination that they're going through, and they're coming out remarkably monolithic in their views and seemingly deeply hostile to the principles of liberal democracy, which is every individual is equal. What matters is your arguments, not your identity. We all have one vote. We treat people regardless of their race in America, or at least we attempt to, and that's what our legal process is all about and what our Constitution is designed to do, which has in the past failed to do that, but has been a constant attempt to make that better and better. And they're telling you that none of that matters, that we are as in bad a state today for African Americans as we were in the before the Civil War. The same white supremacy exists. It just manipulates you in different ways. And not only that, but it's that's across every other single identity too. As if every other identity then has to adopt that model of being miserably oppressed forever by
Oh
these
gosh.
structural forces. So tell me what you think has happened to the students' minds and souls here. How are they different? Tell me how they're different. How you can tell that.
Well, you described it very well. I'll say, one of my students was JD Vance, and that wasn't so very long ago, but let's just say even like 8 years ago. One of the things that made it so fun for me to teach was I liked being provocative. So I was very proud. I would have, so Federalist Society, that's our conservative
Yeah.
student group. But I would love, in these small groups or classes, I would, even today, this is still true of me. I have the most diverse classes in the purest sense, that is politically diverse, racially diverse, every kind of diverse. And I'm proud of that. But it used to be so fun that I would have debates, and you'd have some member of the Federal Society, very conservative, maybe very religious, debating with somebody, maybe a lesbian woman who had opposite views. They would, argue in class. Afterwards, go out for a beer.
Absolutely.
It would be fun, and I would see friendships develop, and that was why I wanted to be an academic.
Well,
Today,
I grew up
fast,
too,
yeah,
Amy. I
yeah,
grew up in the Oxford Union, where all we did was
yes.
debate. I always picked the topic on the side that was almost certainly going to lose because I enjoyed the thrill of finding a difficult position to argue for and
Oh,
arguing
me
for it.
too. I would find like the most provocative person who could say something about, terrorism, and know that the other side would come back and be feisty and totally different now. I don't, sad to say, even I've changed a lot. But for example, now, not only is it, do you not see this, but if you're just a liberal and you can't even have a friend who is in the Federal Society, if you have just a friend, then you will be targeted as FedSoc adjacent. This is a new term, FedSoc adjacent, like white adjacent. It's a new term meaning that it's a complete change, because not only can you not debate, you can't even be friendly to somebody like
No.
that. So it changes the landscape completely, because it makes friend groups smaller and smaller, only people of your views.